Welcome to the Long Room, Joel Christie. I'm Joel, flying solo today, and we're going to be talking today about making a budget. Now, if you've made resolutions for the new year for saving money or lowering your grocery budget or conquering your spending habits or anything like that, first thing you want to do is start looking at anything that is costing you money, and that way you can begin to figure out where your money's going and where you have opportunities to save. Because without a budget, you're not really going to be able to know that. You could be spending thousands of dollars somewhere that you really didn't realize you're spending so much money. But if you have a budget, then you can be able to see where that money is going, and then start to correct things and start spending money in other places. So as we get started, there's a couple things that we want to talk about. If you don't already have a budget or any idea of where your money's going, the first thing you're going to want to do is look at your receipts, look at your bank statements, look at your app for your bank, and then start writing those things down and collecting them into categories. So, like when you buy gas, you might want to have a pile for gas receipts, or if you go to convenience stores a lot, if you stop on the road or if you buy coffee or anything like that, you want to start putting those into stacks and start thinking about what category would I put this into. Begin to look at your receipts, and your receipts are going to tell your story. It's going to tell your money story. It's going to tell you where all of your money is going, and it's going to tell you how you're spending it. And sometimes you may be surprised at how much you're spending in certain areas that you didn't even really know about. And you can begin to start to change those things and make sure that you're starting to allocate spending in other places rather than those places if you want to do that. But look at your receipts, look at your bank statements, and just kind of determine where your money's going and what you want to do about it. The second thing is, my suggestion is when making a budget is to do your best to get to where you're living a month in advance. And by that, I mean the money that you're making today, or the money that you're making, say this is January, the money that you're making in January is going towards February's bills. That way you're getting ahead of the chains, you're getting ahead of the month, and you don't have to worry about you're starting to break that paycheck to paycheck cycle because you're living on last month's money, and this month's money is going to next month. You want to try to get to that area to where you're not worried about, okay, well, the check's coming in this week, I got to put it in the bank so I can spend it on these things that are coming up this month. If you can do that, it'll take a lot of the stress out of your budgeting, takes a lot of stress out of your spending, it'll take a lot of the stress out of your money management, because you know that you already have money in the bank for this month's bills, for the things that you want to do this month. You already have the money there, and the money you're making this month is going towards next month. And then the third thing is this: you want to give every dollar a job, which means you want it to go into a certain account. You want it to go into a certain place where you know what your money is going to be spent for. Because if you just have money in, say, like a miscellaneous budget, then you can pull anything from that, and sooner or later, even if you have it written down, you're going to lose track of that. So you want to make sure that you have specific categories that go along with what you're doing there. And the last thing is this: is you want to find out what's important to you. And by setting up a budget, setting up things that are going to track your spending, knowing where your spending is going, you're going to find out the things that are important to you, and maybe you'll be able to make some changes and say, you know, that this is not really that important to me. Find out the things that are necessary, then find out the things that are important, and then you'll be able to make your budget based on those needs. And a budget is more likely to be kept and adhered to, and I don't want to say adhered to because that makes it sound restrictive. Budgets aren't restrictive, they're freeing, because they give you the freedom to buy the things you want, the things that are important to you. It allows you to control your money rather than your money controlling you. Now, we're going to go to the computer and we're going to set up some budgets and show you some different ways to do that. So let's get to that. there are a couple ways you can do this. One is through just pen and paper. You can write down everything if you want to do that. You can write down all your expenses the old-fashioned way and keep up with it like that. But there are better ways to do it, and one of the better ways to do it is through a spreadsheet. Now, it doesn't have to. This is a template from Excel. There are templates and probably in Google Sheets if you use that. Any type of spreadsheet will be able to do these calculations for you. Or you can start from scratch. If you're savvy with Excel or Google Sheets, you can set this up yourself. I did that in the very beginning. I had an Excel sheet that I had put all the formulas in and everything, and kept up with our budget that way until I found some good budgeting software that I really liked, and so we did it this way. And so you can see here what we have here is income source 1, income source 2, other income, and then down here they start doing their monthly expenses. Your rent, your electric, your gas, your cell phone. These aren't current prices. So if you're wondering about that, groceries, car payment, credit cards, auto insurance, miscellaneous. So you want to list everything that you have as far as monthly expenses goes, and that's going to start telling you what your categories are going to be in your budget. So if you have rent, if you have electricity, you have gas, you have water, maybe you have a car payment, you have car insurance, you have a credit card you want to pay off, things like that, your cell phone payment, any of those things, those are going to create the expenses, the expense account in your budget. And so each month you're going to go in and say, okay, I'm paying, $180 for my cell phone. You're going to put it there. And then you're going to think about, and this one doesn't do that, I don't think, but you can start putting in your expenses and start subtracting from that. So if you put I spent $180 towards my cell phone this month, you can also put it to where you can do it like this and just put a 0 in there so you know it's zeroed out. Or you can make formulas that'll do it for you. And so this is the expenses that you're going to have after you've looked at your receipts, after you've kind of decided where your money's going. You want to create these accounts, these budget accounts that are going to show you exactly how much you're spending in each area. Okay. And so down here, you're also going to put in your savings. If you have savings that you do, how much you want to put in there. You can treat savings like a bill. One of my friends growing up, his mother always said, you want to treat savings like a bill. So it's something that you want to pay every month. It's something you want to put into every month. So you charge yourself $100 for savings every month, then you know you got money going into your savings account. And so you want to set that up and decide, okay, where do I want to go with that, and how much do I want to put in there as far as my what my income is. So you can do it in Excel, you can do it in Google Sheets, you can do it in any type of spreadsheet, application. You can use those to track your spending and create a budget. You can do these great little pie charts. You can do spending charts. You can do things that show how much you're spending each month and compared to last month. You can do all of that in Excel, but you pretty much have to set it up yourself. It's just a step up from writing it down on paper, doing it like this. There is a better way to do it, and we're going to talk about that now. And the way you do that is to set it up through a budgeting software program. Now, there are a lot of them out there. Some of them are free to start, but sooner or later, most of them will probably want to charge you for usage. There's now we use YNAB. You need a budget. There's also EveryDollar. There's Mint. There's a lot of different things that programs that you can use, and I would suggest that you try them all. Try their free versions. Try them the parts of it that you can get for free for a while. Try those. If it's to your liking and you want to pay for it, you're more than welcome to do that. And and then you have a good software that you like. And people ask me, well, Joel, what's the best budgeting software? What's the best budgeting software out there? Now, I could tell you that it's YNAB. I could tell you that it's EveryDollar. I could tell you that it's Mint. I could tell you that it's Quicken. I could tell you it's any of those things. But here's the statement: the best budgeting software is the software that you're going to use, and that you're going to use on a daily, weekly basis. And you're going to use it in a way that tracks your spending, that tracks your spending habits, that allows you to make changes on the fly, that allows you to know where all of your money is going. The best budgeting software is a software that you're going to use. If you're not using it, it's not the best, and it's not for you. Find something that you're going to use. Find something that you're going to stick with. Find something that suits your needs, whatever you want. Don't get something just because somebody recommended it. Get something that you're going to use, something that meets your needs, something that is fun for you to use. Now, people, I know you're probably thinking budgeting and fun. Those two words don't go together, but it really does when you start to realize that you're setting goals for yourself and keeping up with your budgeting software, and you're budgeting every month is showing you how you're meeting those goals. And so you want to make sure that you're doing those things and you're using a software that you're actually going to use. All right, so let's kind of get down to the nuts and bolts, the nitty gritty of what's going on here. And you can see I've already kind of set this one up. And this is in YNAB. You need a budget. This is the one we use, so it's what I'm going to base it on. If you want to try it, they give a 34-day free trial. If you want to try it out for 34 days, you can do that. Most of these will have, like I said, we'll have a free version that you can use at least for a while, and then you can decide which one is best for you. But we're going to start and say that we have. I'm going to put a little bit more in there, but you can. So you can go to your test budget, your account here, and this is your check register. Who writes checks anymore, right? This is your register, your expense register, and you can add a transaction here. So we're going to add some, tell you which account. You can have several different accounts over here, like if you have different bank accounts that you want to pull from, if you have different budgets you want to pull from, you can do this in this. Here you can set up several different accounts. Then want the date and then the payee. So we're going to go deposit, and we're going to deposit a little more money. Say we got paid, and we want to begin to assign that. We're already a month ahead. We know that's happening, and so we got paid this week, and it's going towards February's budget. So just to say we got paid $3,000, not there, and so we're going to put it in ready to assign, and then we're going to move it into the inflow. And there it is. Now we're going to go back to our budget. So now you can see that before we had $23.75 and ready to assign. Now we have $53.75. So we're going to go down and start assigning the money that we're going to spend next month from the ready to assign. So here we go. So say our rent is $1,500. Oops. Our rent is $1,500. And you can see now that $1,500 has been taken out of the ready to assign. Our electric bill is $200. Our water bill is maybe $55. Our internet is, maybe $95 a month. Groceries, maybe you say I'm going to do $800 a month for groceries. Let's see, auto maintenance, home maintenance. I would suggest if you do own your own home, go ahead and set up a home maintenance account, because you never know when those expenses are going to come through and when you're going to need to do those. So home insurance, so maybe you pay, it's $800 every 6 months or something like that, or maybe you pay it through your mortgage. Maybe that's how you pay it. But if you don't, you pay it separately, then you want to put an account for it. Put an account for clothing. If you want to put $100 a month in there. The good thing about YNAB is that it carries over. So if you have a balance left over at the end of the month, it carries over to the next month. You can see that money start accumulating as you say, okay, I'm going to budget $100. I'm only going to spend $50, and you can start seeing that money accumulating in there. So if you're giving, your charitable giving will be in here. If you want to, like, I want to replace my computer in a few months, you want to start saving up for that. Your car loan, maybe it's $400. And then you want to start thinking about your sinking funds. So if that's all of your regular accounts, things you pay on the monthly, then you want to start thinking about sinking funds. Now, we have a lot of different sinking funds ourselves. You can see I have some set up here for Christmas gifts. We put money into Christmas gifts like the old Christmas clubs at the banks. Quite a few years ago, my mom and dad used to do that. They used to put money into a Christmas club account at the end of the year. Before they started to buy gifts for Christmas, they already have that money there. This is kind of the same idea, but you're not putting into a different account. You're just putting into your budget here to budget for it, and so you know not to spend that money. Okay, and you know you already have it there. If you're saving up for a new car, your car insurance, you pay that. If you pay it every 6 months like we do, you get a discount, and so you want to start accruing for that. While you're waiting, so when your bill comes due, then you already have the money there. So start accruing for that now. So like you pay, $800 for car insurance, you're gonna put $100 into it every month. That way, that money starts to accrue. You're dining out, so if you go to restaurants a lot, you want to put some money in there for that. You want to do that so you can keep track of that spending. If you're a gamer, you want to put $100 in there for games every month. There you go. Anything that comes along like that, your car maintenance, for oil changes, things that come up like that. Your home maintenance, like I said, you want to set up an account for that, so that if you own your own home, you make those repairs, you have money in there to make those repairs. If you want to do money just for a student loan, you can put money in there for that. You want to start saving up for a vacation. We put sinking funds in for any of the trips that we're going to do. So we're taking a trip to Boston in April, taking a trip to Tennessee in December. So we're going to start saving up for those out of the money that we already make. And so when we start to take those trips, we'll already have that completed and have that money already there in that account. And so you want to start doing that and start putting in the money in there for that, so that when you start in February on your budget, then these monies start taking away. So once you get to using the money, then the money will start to disappear. But in YNAB, it'll already start to, if you're not spending as much as you're budgeting, then the money will start accumulating over here in the available side. And so right here. And so you'll begin to see that money start accumulating. And so one of the good things about YNAB is that you can also create targets. So if you want to create a target for your clothing expense. So say we want to create a clothing target, and we want to put $500 in that account at some point. It's going to tell you that you need $400 more to reach the target. Now, once you get there, you start putting in money every month, and you get there, then it's going to turn green like this and tell you that you've reached your target. You've reached your goal. And so and you can do this for kind of a length of time. If you want to do it monthly, if you want to do it yearly, you can do a custom, anything like that. You want to do a weekly, you're able to do that, and you'll be able to see how much money is in that account relative to what you actually want in that account. So we have a couple set up like that, but you'll be able to do that, and it'll tell you if you need money or if it's funded and you're ready to go. So you want to set those up. Make sure you're setting up those goals, those savings goals. Those are the things that really start helping you to see what's important to you, is that you start seeing what accounts you have money in, what accounts you want to put money in, and what accounts you don't want to put money in anymore, or what you don't want to spend your money on. So once you find out what's important to you, then you're able to move money around to other accounts, savings accounts, to sinking funds, to make sure that you're hitting those budget goals. All right, so I hope you've enjoyed the budgeting video today on how to set up a budget, and hope it's opened your eyes for some things for you to be able to find out what's important to you in your life. I know when we started really budgeting, we really decided what was important to us, the things we wanted to spend our money on, things we didn't want to spend our money on, and it really opened our eyes to really what was important in our lives. And so we started spending money on the things that we wanted to spend the things on, and it really freed us up to do the things that we wanted to do rather than having our money control us. We control our money now. And so I want to encourage you to set up a budget, to start doing that, start finding those things that are important to you and setting those things up. So drop us a comment below and let us know what software you use. If you're already using a software, if you're looking for a software and you want to try YNAB, the link is going to be in the description bar. There's also other different things that I mentioned before that you can go back, Mint and EveryDollar and Quicken and all those things that you can try for free for a little bit, just to see which is going to be best for you. And don't remember, like I said, the best budgeting software is the software that you're going to use. So find one that you like, find one that meets your needs, and then use it every month to track your spending. So drop us those comments below. We'd love to hear those, and love to hear from you. And thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell for updates when we upload new videos. We're doing it a lot now, so make sure you get that notifications bell on to all notifications so you get those notifications when we upload new videos for you to view. And with that said, that's going to do it today for the Long Run with Joel and Christy. I'm Joel, flying solo today, and don't forget it's a long run. Give yourself a little grace.